You know that feeling when you think Samsung's finally out of surprises and then bam, they drop something wild again? Yeah, that's exactly what's going down with the Exynos 2600. Out of nowhere, Samsung's next flagship chip has jumped back into the spotlight, and this time it's not just another random leak. It's a sign that Samsung's cooking up something way bigger behind the scenes. So here's what went down. Before diving deep into today's video, a quick request. A single click on the subscribe button from you genuinely fuels my motivation to create more videos like this. It means a lot. Also, drop a like and comment if you like the video. Now let's get straight to today's topic. A few days ago, some folks noticed a mysterious version of the Exynos 2600 quietly sneaking into benchmark charts. It was underclocked, kinda weak, and honestly, nobody had a clue why it even existed. But then, out of nowhere, the real version, yeah, the fast one, showed up and suddenly everything started making sense. See, it turns out Samsung might actually be testing not one, but two versions of this brand new 2nm processor. And that's where things get spicy. Why two chips? Because they might be setting up an entirely new strategy. One where not every Galaxy phone gets the same chip, but each one gets a chip that's tuned specifically for that model. And if the leaks are right, this thing's a straight-up monster. We're talking a 10-core setup with one prime core hitting a ridiculous 3.8 Hz, the mids cruising at 3.26, and the efficiency cores chilling at 2.76 Hz. Then there's the quiet version, slightly slower, less power-hungry. Most people think Samsung's experimenting to find the perfect balance between raw power and keeping the phone from turning into a pocket heater. And honestly, that checks out because the new Geekbench scores are wild. The high-performance variant smashed through with a 3,455 single-core and 11,621 multi-core score. That's the strongest Exynos result we've ever seen, period. So here's the theory. Samsung might be reserving the top-tier version exclusively for the Galaxy S26 Ultra, while the S26 and S26 Plus get a slightly tuned-down version. Think of it as the same brain, but trained differently for each model. And that move actually makes a lot of sense. It opens up a whole new way for Samsung to fine-tune performance depending on the device. Now, if you look deeper, this slower Exynos might not just disappear. It could easily pop up in other models, maybe a Galaxy S26 Edge or even an X-Fan edition. There's talk it could be branded as the Exynos 2600E, kinda like what we saw with the 2400E in the Galaxy S24 FE. And if that's true, Samsung's not just building chips anymore, they're building an entire ecosystem of performance tiers. That's a massive shift in how they design flagships. Now let's talk Galaxy S26 because the hype train's definitely not stopping at the chip. Fresh reports are hinting at a slight price bump thanks to rising component costs. According to insiders, we could see around a $100 increase across the board. That means about $899 for the base S26, $999 for the Plus, and $1,399 for the Ultra. Yeah, I know, not great news, but hang on. Remember, Samsung held prices steady for the Fold 7 and Flip 7 even when costs went up. So it's totally possible they'll do something similar here, maybe just bump the Plus model and keep the rest the same. Now, on to the big one, the Galaxy S26 Ultra. According to Jason C's leaks, this thing's shaping up to be an absolute unit. We're talking Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite in some regions, whereas Exynos 2600 and others up to 16 gigs of RAM, a massive 6.9-inch QHD plus AMOLED display, a 200-megapixel main camera, and a 5,000 mAh battery with 60 watts fast charging and new Qi 2 wireless support. Basically, this phone's a tank, faster, cooler, sharper, and more refined than ever. And if all these leaks line up, the Galaxy S26 lineup might not just be another small yearly upgrade, it could be Samsung's biggest leap in years. The funny part? Samsung hasn't said a single word about any of this yet. So if this is what's happening behind the scenes, imagine what they're planning when they finally go public. Because honestly, if this is just the warm-up, 2026 might be the year Samsung steps right back into the spotlight and totally owns it.